Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we continue our crocheting lessons for beginners. And in this video, I'll show you how to tie a single crochet. Follow the link in the description and grab your step-by-step guide on how to earn your first $1,700 crocheting by tomorrow with the help of my own crochet techniques. So, let's remember how to crochet a sequence of chain stitches. I won't take long to focus on this, but simply to remind, we grab a hook and thread. I grabbed a bigger hook today, a 5. I have this interesting knitting thread. It's really easy to use it for crocheting demonstration. So, grab a hook. I do the first loop like this. I cast on the thread over a hook. The short part is on my index finger. The thread coming off the ball is called a working thread. It goes above on the index finger. So I cast on, turn the hook. Insert the working thread and tighten. Now I have the first loop. Next, we remember chain stitches. We scoop the working thread and simply pull it through the loop. So we're reminded of our first lesson and how to do chain stitches. Let's tie in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as a reminder, yeah? A straight and beautiful sequence of chain stitches. This is how it looks from the back. This is the facing side. And now we'll be tying single crochets. In order, we have 10 stitches. If your model directions ask for 10, the width of our piece needs to be 10 as well. And in that case, we cast on one more turning chain. Because we won't tie anything into this stitch. This is our 10th stitch. In order to tie into it, we have to cast on one more turning chain. We cast on one more stitch and always tie into the second stitch from the hook. If your directions say you need to cast on 20 loops, the width of your piece will be 20 stitches, let's say, or the height. Either way, cast on one more stitch and tie into not the first one from the hook, but the second. So, tie single crochets. The hook goes through the loop, scoop the working thread, and pull out of this loop. And we get 2 stitches on a hook. We have to tie them together. We scoop the working thread again and take the hook through both stitches. And we get our first post. Here's our next loop. Here it is. We bring the hook through it again. Scoop the working thread and pull out through this stitch. Again, we have 2 stitches on the hook. We must scoop the working thread and pull it out, taking it through the 2 stitches on the hook. Here's the second single crochet post. And you can see this loop. That's the first tied post. This loop, that's the second post. I'll show you one more time. Here's our next loop. Here it is. We go through the loop, scoop the working thread. Pull out. 2 stitches on a hook. Again, scoop the working thread and pull out through the 2 stitches. Here's the third post. You can tell by these loops that we've tied 3 single crochet posts. The hook, as I've mentioned in our first lesson, can be held in 2 different ways. You can either hold it like a pen or like this, depends on how one chooses to. Or some hold like this, where the stitch has to be held up. Here, look, the following loop. We bring through, scoop thread, and pull out. 2 stitches on the hook, together, scoop up the working thread, and we've tied the 4th post. Recently, I find this way uncomfortable. I was taught to crochet like this, but then I saw this hook method. It's better for me, more comfortable. You learn however it is more comfortable for you. Maybe it's easier for you to hold the hook like this. This is a better hold for smaller hooks, for thinner crocheting. Grabbing above for bigger thread and hook. But I'm not used to crocheting different things this way. So next, please notice that the loop consists of 1.5 called front wall of the loop. That's where we insert. There's 1 more at the bottom. Then it turns out that you pull this stitch and make it tighter. Two parts of a stitch, so the stitch consists of first, second, and here, third part. If you go through this part, then it turns out more loose. And it's not as dense in the process and finalized. If you insert through the second part of the stitch, then you're grabbing 2 parts of the stitch, see? Let's tie in through this to see. Grab the working thread. Pull out and bring through. You see the difference? This stayed at the bottom, and so this won't be as tightly done as the first. You take your time. It's totally fine if you're getting through the second part of the stitch now. I always tie in the first. Insert through and tie in 2 stitches together. Insert through the hook, scoop the working thread. Grab over 1 more time and tie 2 loops together. And here we tie in our 10 stitches. Insert through again, scoop the working thread, pull out. Support and bring through. We get a second row. And here are our posts, signified with the loops on top. Tie 2 stitches together again, and we have 1 stitch left. Try not to tighten too much when you pull out. Beginners tend to tighten the stitches too much. They do it too much. Try to keep things in place. Let it stay loose, but intact. Scoop and bring through. And so we have a row of single crochet posts. That's how you crochet it. This is the back side. This is the facing. Continue your lessons and crochet with joy.